Good morning, everyone. Hello. Everybody's got their seat. We're going to get started. We're going to try and keep us as close to on time today as possible. My name is Ilene Miller, and I'm one of the co-founders of Hope for HH, the current president, and also the parent of a 15-year-old boy who's actually helping to babysit some of your kids next door, who has HH. We are delighted to welcome you. We have 20 families here from Mexico, from Canada, from the UK, and from all corners of the United States. And many of you traveled far, some of you traveled close to be here, but we're delighted to welcome you and pleased that you could be here. We got a chance last night to speak with many of you, and I want you to know that we heard your stories. We heard about your long and sometimes complex journeys to diagnosis. We heard about your feelings of isolation in decision-making. We heard about your struggles to find doctors, teams, not just for treatment, but for the long haul. We heard about the successes, and we celebrate those successes, every single one of us. And we heard about the problems that sometimes can follow surgery as well. And I just want each of you to know that you were heard last night by myself and by other members of this board and by this community. Some of you have been at this a few months, some of you a few years, some of us a decade, and even others of us, Lisa, for 20 plus years. And we've learned a few things along the way. We've learned to trust our guts and our parent intuition. We've learned that sometimes we need to educate the professionals. And we've also learned that we need to seek out doctors and nurses and others who are compassionate partners in this journey to help our children. A big epilepsy meeting is going on just up the street at the Washington Convention Center. And one of the themes that they're discussing this year is that it's not enough to just treat the seizures, right? That the seizure is just a piece of this, that it's the whole child, the whole adult, the whole person. It's everything from the cognition, the memory, the sleep, the behaviors that we need to address as well. So we mixed it up a little bit with this third HH forum. And we invited a very dear doctor of ours, Dr. Kerrigan, who's going to present first this morning to give you an update on the research and the important treatment new offerings that are available. But we reached out to really thoughtful folks from cognition, from behavior, from memory, and from other areas to share their expertise. But we also hand select them because they are good listeners. And they are here to really hear your stories, to hear your questions, and to engage. And we hope that at the end of this meeting that we will all have taken away important critical information that helps each of us, that will have involved some doctors that are learning and interested in helping us as we go forward in partnership. So what to expect today? You all should have a program. We'll have 3 speakers this morning. We'll have some lunch. We'll have one of our HH researchers and one of her research colleagues, Verena and Sam, if you can raise your hands in the back. I encourage each of you to get to know Sam and Verena because they are working hard on the research front to do things in the laboratory, and they'll be talking about it later, that will help all of our families. We'll have a roundtable format after lunch where we'll break up into small groups, something new that we're trying this year, so you can have some dialogue with other families with a facilitator that's expert in an area. And we'll have time to continue to get to know each other. I know for those of us that were here last night, just to be able to sit, talk, share, exchange was really wonderful, really critical to each of us. A few housekeeping items. The kids are next door. We've got babysitters and an RN that will be there all day. I hope that each of you will just check in on your kids a little bit on the breaks and during lunch, but hopefully this will enable you to really be here, be present, and get what you need out of this meeting. And we will continue to raffle items throughout the day. And you've already each gotten a raffle ticket just by virtue of being here. If you want to earn extra raffle tickets, if you like us on Facebook or follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, and just flash one of the board members that you've done it, we'll hand you an extra raffle ticket, more chances to win, and also more follows for us, which is great. And I would be remiss not to give some thanks, and I have a little bit of a long list of thanks to give, so bear with me just a second. First, I want to thank each of you for traveling here. We are very grateful that so many of you came from so far to be here. I want to thank our presenters that are going to be here throughout the day for sharing their expertise and their time. I want to thank Jason in the back, who is a dear friend, who is donating all of the AV services and technology to record this so that we can make this programming available to the 30,000 other families that couldn't be here in person that are all around the world. I want to thank the RNs that are next door, that are all here as volunteers. I want to thank our volunteers, many of you in this room who helped put together toys for the kids or activities for families to do. And I'd actually like you to stand. If you volunteered to help with this, just stand for a minute. If you sat at the registration table, don't be shy, stand. I want everybody to see this is a team effort. Stand up. You manned the registration table. So you can see this is not about, yes. This is truly about a bunch of families coming together and working together to get stuff done. I want to thank the board, the Hope for HH board, and ladies, please stand. I know you guys are shy, but please stand because these are the super women that do this. None of us are paid. We volunteer our time. We do it because we care, and we are very grateful for you to be here, and we're very grateful for them for all they do. And finally, and especially big thanks to Miss Kathy, who's hiding in the back, who doesn't like the spotlight, but please give her a round of applause because, thank you. She gave the utmost attention to every single detail, and we have her to thank for such a wonderful meeting.